something strange is happening in the luxury SUV market. For years, European brands have dominated the conversation: BMW, Mercedes, Range Rover. But suddenly, buyers are starting to ask a very uncomfortable question. What if the smartest luxury SUV isn't German anymore? What if the car quietly embarrassing the entire segment is actually Japanese? Because the 2027 Lexus RX 350 has just been revealed, and it might be the SUV that forces the luxury market to rethink everything. Hello everyone, and welcome back to Accent Auto. Today we're taking a deep dive into the 2027 Lexus RX 350, a luxury SUV that's not trying to shout, "Paymic," but might quietly dominate the segment. Let's break it down. First impressions, this SUV looks far more aggressive and modern than previous RX generations. Lexus has clearly moved the RX away from its old, safe luxury image and pushed it towards something much more sporty and commanding. Starting at the front, you immediately notice the massive horizontal spindle grille. Instead of the older diamond mesh style, this design uses layered horizontal bars that stretch wide across the front fascia. The effect is very interesting. From a distance, the RX now looks lower, wider, and far more planted on the road. And right in the center sits the bold Lexus emblem, giving the entire front end a very premium focal point. Now look at the headlights. These are ultra-slim LED projector units, with a distinctive white LED signature that wraps around the projector lenses. This lighting design is very intentional. It creates a sharp, futuristic look, but without going overboard like some competitors. Because, if we're honest, some luxury brands today are trying too hard with overly complex lighting designs. Lexus keeps it clean, modern, and elegant. Moving down to the lower bumper, you'll see aggressive vertical air intakes and sporty aerodynamic shaping. There's also a gloss black splitter running across the lower edge, giving the RX a surprisingly athletic stance. Now from the side, the RX keeps a strong SUV profile. You get muscular wheel arches, wide body proportions, and a long shoulder line that runs cleanly from the front fender to the rear. The black multi-spoke wheels give the car a stealthy performance look, and combined with the dark metallic body paint, this SUV feels almost like a luxury performance machine rather than a traditional family crossover. The side steps and sculpted lower door panels add even more visual width, but where the RX really impresses is the rear design. At the back, Lexus goes for a clean and modern horizontal layout. The taillights stretch wide across the rear with sharp LED elements that give the SUV a very distinctive night signature. You also get a sporty roof spoiler integrated into the tailgate and a very aggressive lower diffuser. Look closely and you'll notice the quad exhaust outlets. Yes, quad exhausts on a luxury RX. That alone tells you Lexus is trying to push the RX into a more performance-oriented direction. Overall, this is easily one of the most confident RX designs Lexus has ever produced. Step inside the 2027 RX 350. And the atmosphere immediately changes, because this is where Lexus really reminds everyone why they're masters of luxury interiors. The cabin is wrapped almost entirely in premium leather surfaces, with elegant stitching and soft touch materials everywhere you look. The seats are finished in quilted leather with perforation, offering both ventilation and heating, and they're shaped to provide excellent support without feeling overly sporty. It's that perfect Lexus balance between comfort and refinement. Now look at the dashboard. The RX features a large floating infotainment display positioned above the central air vents. The interface looks clean and modern, with navigation, media, phone connectivity, and vehicle settings all integrated into a simple layout. Below that, you'll find physical climate controls. And that's actually a smart decision, because while some brands remove all buttons, Lexus understands that drivers still appreciate real tactile controls. Moving to the center console, you get a clean layout with the gear selector, drive mode controls, cup holders, and wireless charging pad. Everything feels solid and premium. And then there's the ambient lighting. A subtle red LED light strip runs across the dashboard and door panels, creating a very luxurious nighttime atmosphere. Another highlight is the panoramic glass roof. It stretches across the cabin and brings natural light into the interior, making the space feel much more open. In the back seats, passengers get generous legroom and extremely comfortable seating. The rear bench also features the same quilted leather design found in the front seats, which means rear passengers are treated just as well as the driver. This is something Lexus has always done very well, because in many luxury SUVs, rear seats still feel like an afterthought, but not here. Now, let's talk about performance. The 2027 Lexus RX 350 is expected to use a 2.4-liter turbocharged 4-cylinder engine. Power output is estimated around 275 horsepower, and torque comes in at roughly 430. That might not sound crazy on paper, but it's actually very competitive in this segment. For comparison, BMW X5 xDrive 40i produces around 375 horsepower, but at a significantly higher price point. Mercedes GLE 350 delivers about 255 horsepower, while the Range Rover Velar sits around 250 horsepower in its base configuration. So the RX 350 lands right in the sweet spot. Enough power for strong highway performance, while maintaining the legendary Lexus reliability and efficiency. And with Lexus's refined suspension tuning, the RX focuses more on smooth, quiet driving rather than aggressive sport handling. Where the RX truly shines is on the road, because Lexus engineers prioritize ride comfort above everything else. The suspension absorbs bumps beautifully. The cabin insulation is outstanding, and wind noise is almost non-existent even at motorway speeds. This is the kind of SUV that makes long highway drives feel effortless. In many ways, the RX is less about performance numbers and more about delivering a stress-free luxury driving experience, and that's exactly what many buyers actually want. Pricing is expected to start around $52,000 in the UK, which places the RX directly against competitors like the BMW X5, Audi Q7, and Mercedes GLE. But here's where Lexus often wins: ownership, because Lexus consistently ranks among the most reliable luxury brands in the world. Service costs tend to be lower, resale values remain strong, and customer satisfaction is extremely high. So while some rivals sell prestige, Lexus sells peace of mind. So the big question is simple: is the 2027 Lexus RX 350 the best luxury SUV ever made? Maybe not the fastest, maybe not the most expensive, but it might be the smartest luxury SUV you can buy, because while other brands chase attention, Lexus quietly builds cars that owners actually love to live with. And in today's market, that might be the biggest advantage of all. Thanks for watching, and if you enjoyed deep dive luxury SUV analysis like this, make sure to subscribe to Accent Auto for more, because the next generation of SUVs is just getting started.